Look at the device in your hand or the screen in front of you. It is a portal to everything you have ever wanted to know, every piece of entertainment ever created, and every person you have ever met. It promises connection, knowledge, and relief. Yet if you pause for a second and look inward, you will likely find that you do not feel connected, you do not feel wiser, and you certainly do not feel relieved. Instead, there is a low-level static in your mind, a buzzing anxiety that refuses to settle. You feel a strange, heavy exhaustion that sleep does not cure. You are overstimulated, yet bored. You are drowning in content, yet starving for meaning. You possess the tools of a god, yet you often feel like a slave to the very technology that was supposed to liberate you. Before we dive deep, if you want to support this kind of content, please like the video and subscribe. This is the defining paradox of our age. We have engineered a world of infinite abundance, but our biology was designed for a world of scarcity. Your brain evolved to hunt for rewards, to seek out the rare calorie, the scarce information, the difficult-to-find mate. In that ancient world, the pursuit of these things was difficult, and the reward was the chemical payoff that kept you alive. But today, the hunt is over. The rewards are delivered to you on a conveyor belt of pixels and light, free of charge, free of effort, and free of friction. You have become a passive consumer of your own life, hooked on a drip feed of cheap dopamine that has hijacked the most precious resource you possess, your attention. You must understand that this is not merely a bad habit or a lack of willpower. It is a physiological state. Every time you scroll, every time you click a notification, every time you seek a microdose of novelty, you are engaging a biological mechanism that was never meant to be fired thousands of times a day. You are flooding your neural pathways with the chemistry of anticipation. Science tells us that the brain releases dopamine not just when we get a reward, but when we anticipate it. It is the craving, the maybe, the possibility of something new that drives the behavior. When this system is hyperactivated around the clock, your baseline for satisfaction shifts. You become desensitized. The things that should bring you joy, a conversation with a friend, a walk in the sunlight, the slow progress of a difficult project, no longer register. They feel dull. They feel slow. They are not enough to pierce the numbness that has set in. This numbing effect is the enemy of your success. Real success, the kind that alters the trajectory of a life and leaves a legacy, requires a depth of focus that modern life is actively trying to destroy. It requires the ability to sustain effort when there is no immediate applause. It requires you to be able to sit with boredom, to wrestle with confusion, and to push through the messy middle of any endeavor. But if your brain has been trained to expect a reward every 15 seconds, you will fold the moment things get hard. You will retreat to the safety of the screen. You will trade your potential for a cheap hit of distraction, not because you want to, but because your biology has been hacked. You are caught in a loop of desire and dissatisfaction, running on a treadmill where the speed keeps increasing but you never move forward. We live in a society that celebrates this hyperactivity. We are told we can do everything, be everything, and know everything. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor. But this achievement society is a trap. It tricks you into exploiting yourself. You become both the master and the slave, cracking the whip on your own back, terrified that if you stop moving, if you stop consuming, if you stop performing, you will cease to matter. You fill every silent moment with noise because silence forces you to face the void, the uncomfortable truth that you might not be living the life you intended. You are terrified of your own company, so you invite the entire world into your pocket to keep you from being alone with your thoughts. But consider the cost. Attention is psychic energy. It is a finite fuel. Every time you fracture your focus, you are leaking this fuel. You are spending your life force on things that do not love you back, on trivialities that will be forgotten in an hour. When you cannot control your attention, you cannot control your reality. The things that actually matter, building a business, mastering a skill, deepening a relationship, forging a character, require a massive investment of this psychic energy. If you have squandered it all on digital trivialities, you have nothing left for your own life. You become a spectator, watching others live, watching others create, while you slowly atrophy in a comfortable chair. The escape from this trap is not easy, because the trap is comfortable. It is lined with velvet and plays your favorite songs. But the escape is necessary if you want to be free. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with zero resistance. That is the freedom of a spoiled child, and it leads to misery. True freedom is the ability to govern yourself. It is the ability to choose what you pay attention to. It is the ability to say no to the easy pleasure in order to say yes to the difficult good. It requires you to reclaim your sovereignty from the algorithms and the advertisers who view you not as a human being, but as a data point to be harvested. We are going to explore a radical solution. It is a method of reclaiming your mind by intentionally reintroducing the one thing your brain is desperate for, the one thing the modern world has banished: scarcity. We are going to talk about dopamine farming, not as a way to get more cheap thrills, but as a disciplined cultivation of your own motivation. We will look at how to create artificial deserts in your life so that the water of real achievement tastes sweet again. We will discuss how to embrace boredom not as a defect, but as the fertile soil from which all creativity and power spring. You have been sleepwalking through a carnival of lights. It is time to wake up. Turn off the noise and remember who you actually are. To practice dopamine farming, you must first understand the landscape of your own mind. Imagine a field that has been over-farmed. You have planted the same crops: cheap entertainment, instant gratification, constant validation season after season, without pause. The soil is depleted. Nothing of substance can grow there anymore because the nutrients have been stripped away by your relentless demand for a harvest every single minute. The first step in reclaiming your potential is to let the field lie fallow. You must consciously create a season of drought. You must introduce a period of artificial scarcity where you deliberately cut off the supply of easy rewards to allow your neurochemistry to reset. When you begin this process, do not expect peace. Expect rebellion. The moment you put the phone away, the moment you turn off the notifications and sit in a quiet room with nothing but your own thoughts, your body will revolt. This is not a metaphor, it is a physiological reality. Your body has memorized the chemical state of being overstimulated. It has grown accustomed to a certain baseline of cortisol and dopamine, and when you withdraw that stimulation, your body sends a distress signal to your brain. It screams that something is wrong. You will feel an intense, visceral agitation. You will suddenly remember a trivial email you need to send, or you will feel a phantom vibration in your pocket, or you will be overcome by a sudden wave of fatigue or anxiety. This is the critical threshold. Most people reach this point of discomfort and immediately retreat. They grab the device, they turn on the television, they seek the distraction, and the agitation subsides. They mistake this temporary relief for happiness, but it is merely a fleeting escape. To succeed, you must do the exact opposite. You must sit in the fire of that agitation and do absolutely nothing. You must observe the impulse to distract yourself without acting on it. You are witnessing the final struggles of your old habits, the breaking of the neural chains that have bound you to a reactive existence. By refusing to gratify the immediate desire, you are engaging in a form of pruning. You are letting the old neural pathways wither from disuse so that new, stronger pathways can eventually take their root. This creates a vacuum of powerful, uncomfortable silence. In this silence, you will encounter the one thing modern society has spent billions of dollars trying to eliminate: boredom. We have been conditioned to view boredom as a failure, as a void that must be filled. But in the context of dopamine farming, boredom is not a defect, it is fertilizer. Boredom is simply potential energy that has not yet found a direction. When you constantly vent this energy on trivial amusements, you have no pressure built up to drive you toward great work. But when you cap the vent, when you refuse to spend that energy on cheap screens, the pressure builds. It becomes uncomfortable. It becomes a driving force. Eventually, the need to do something becomes so great that even the difficult work, the writing, the coding, the exercising, the studying becomes a relief compared to the stagnation. You are using the body's desire for release to propel you into the tasks that actually build your future. You are moving from the state of a consumer to the state of a creator. A consumer reacts to the world. A creator acts upon it. When you are in a state of high dopamine consumption, you are trapped in the predictable past. You are running old programs, thinking the same thoughts and feeling the same emotions. But when you sever the connection to the external feed, you force your brain to look inward. You enter a state where time seems to dilate. This is the gateway to flow, that elusive state where action and awareness merge, where the self-consciousness that plagues you disappears, and where you are capable of performing at your absolute peak. You cannot hack your way into flow with an app or a supplement. You can only enter it by removing the obstacles of distraction and bringing your full, undivided attention to a challenge that demands everything you have. This is where the concept of scarcity reveals its true power. Think of a glass of water. To a man who is drowning, water is a threat. To a man who has been walking in a desert for 3 days, that same glass of water is the most delicious, precious thing on earth. By creating an artificial desert in your daily life, by restricting the flood of digital noise, you resensitize your receptors. You make the water of real achievement taste sweet again. A conversation with a friend becomes vivid and engaging because you aren't glancing at a screen. A difficult book becomes a fascinating puzzle because your brain isn't itching for a 10-second video. You are restoring the natural hierarchy of value that the modern world has inverted. You are training your biology to reward you for effort rather than for clicking a button. But this requires a vigilance that borders on the martial. You must act as the guardian of the gates of your mind. You must realize that every time you say yes to a distraction, you are saying no to your own purpose. You are leaking your life force. You must adopt a philosophy of ruthless essentialism, cutting away everything that does not serve your highest intention. This is not about being a Luddite. It is about being a master. It is about deciding that you will use these tools to build your empire rather than allowing these tools to use you to build theirs. You are waking up from a trance, and the first thing you will notice when you open your eyes is just how much time you have actually been wasting. As you persist in this practice of dopamine farming, as you hold the line against the invasion of digital noise, a profound shift begins to occur. You stop living in a state of reaction and start living in a state of intention. This is where the biology of success intersects with the philosophy of power. By refusing to click, By refusing to scroll, by refusing to let your attention be scattered by 1,000 endless distractions, you are physically rewiring your brain. You are enacting what neuroscientists call long-term potentiation. You are strengthening the neural pathways of focus and allowing the pathways of distraction to wither and die. You are breaking the habit of being your old self. Think about the competitive advantage this gives you. Look around. The vast majority of the population is walking around in a dopamine-induced coma, their eyes glazed over, their minds ricocheting from one stimulus to the next. They are incapable of deep work. They are incapable of sustained